Welcome into A Toast of Film. I'm one of your hosts, Ebo, and this week, guys, I went to the theater not once, not twice, but three separate times. So I have three theatrical reviews for you. From A24, we have Friendship and Bring Her Back. And then we got old Karate Kid Legends. So I'll be getting into all that. But a couple things real quick. This week we had great movie hit Blu-ray, Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up. If you didn't catch this in theaters, make sure to watch it. It'll probably be hitting Max or some of the streaming services, but this one's one you need to own. Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, wonderful. The Woman in the Yard, Alto Nights also came out. Alto Nights looks terrible. I haven't seen it. That's the one with Double Bobby D. And then Woman in the Yard, just not great horror film. Next week, though, it's upcoming week, we have Freaky Tales, Opus, and The Ballad of Lost Island coming out. Very excited about Freaky Tales. Very cool little movie. So make sure to check that out. And, I hit three theatrical movies, three movies in 3 days. So I didn't really have time between work, going to theater. I didn't have time to hit up the liquor store, and get something for this. But thankfully, went out to the garage and I got a major garage beer here. That's right. Nice little lime garage beer. Keep those stocked just in case. You never know. Summertime, anytime's the right time. Crack you a nice little major lime garage beer. But let's get into these reviews. So, first up, A24 movie, we have Friendship. So, Tim Robinson, he has kind of taken over a lot of like TikTok and stuff with clips from his show. And it's just him being awkward. A lot of people have seen the drive-through scene where he pays it forward, then gets back in line and tries to order 55 of everything and wants them to pay. Or I love the zip line one where he's on like a bachelor show, but he just wants to do zip line. But in this, he's Craig. Craig, he works for this company that basically is like a marketing company. They try and market people to get hooked to their apps. And he meets his new neighbor, Paul Rudd, who plays Austin the Weatherman. And Tim Robinson is actually married to Kate Mara's Tammy. So this movie is very A24. And by that, I mean, it is very interesting, very weird, very awkward. My issue with it, because I do think there are some clever ideas, I think this should have been a television show. These bits go on way too long and they're kind of convoluted here and there. I think had this been a show with like small episodes, because I think the episodes are only like 20 minutes. I think those could have worked with some of these bits. Like there's a scene where he puts soap in his mouth and he just goes, "I'm a bad boy." And, mugs, and just that lasts for like a minute straight. That's a funny thing. It was very funny if it had been 10 seconds. But when he's just saying it over and over again and making the face, it starts to feel like they're trying to fill time too much. And it takes away the funny where you're like laughing because like, okay, is this gonna end? Like, what are we doing? Kate Mara, she was okay in this. Paul Rudd was pretty funny because he has a secret that unveils that I thought was pretty funny. He's doing his best. Man, Paul Rudd needs to stick away from A24 films because first he was in Death of a Unicorn, not great movie. Now he's in Friendship, not a great movie. I'm going to give Friendship a 2 out of 5 cheers. I think there are some funny bits. I think there are some decent ideas, but overall, this movie, it's not one you're going to want to rewatch. It's not one you got to tell folks about. You're going to watch it, you're going to be like, yeah, got a couple laughs, there we go. Next up, so this is very divisive movie in my friend group. So Bring Her Back, also from A24, and this is from Danny and Michael Filippo, who were the writer-directors of Talk to Me, which, at this show, we love Talk to Me. So we got Sora Wong as Piper, She's a young blind girl, and she has her stepbrother, Billy Barrett, who plays Andy. Basically, their dad dies in the shower, and then they get whisked away to a foster home, which is Sally Hawkins. Love Sally Hawkins. You know, Shape of Water, Paddington Bear. Sally Hawkins is great. She plays Laura, and then she already has a child, Jonah Wren Phillips, as Oliver, and Oliver does not speak. Couple things. One, they heavily marketed this movie as a horror movie. This is not a horror movie. This is more of a drama with thriller moments and some gore. But it's not, I wouldn't classify it as a horror movie. It's about grief. You know, the kids obviously have grief. Sally Hawkins is dealing with her own grief for her daughter, Kathy. This movie did not work for me. I really appreciate the original ideas. And I also appreciate all the acting performances because Sally Hawkins did great. Sora Wong as Piper, really good. I love Billy Barrett as Andy. And Jonah Wren Phillips, my goodness. Like the creep factor that this little guy was given as Oliver. So good. But I just feel the movie as a whole didn't work. It's too slow. It's too convoluted. It just doesn't work. And I hate that because I love, you know, original horror films. But once again, this is also not a horror film. But I would give Bring Her Back a 2.3 out of 5 cheers. I think if you're into, you know, a slow burn drama, you know, or something you could classify as like a thriller-ish horror adjacent film, I think you might like it. The performances are good enough. The story is unique enough. But just for me, it didn't work. So yeah, 2.3 out of 5 cheers. And talk about bringing back, we got Karate Kid Legends, which is bringing back Jackie Chan as Mr. Han. He was in the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. And then old Ralph Macchio is back as Daniel LaRusso from the original Karate Kid trilogy. And, you know, I think, before I get into this movie, I think it can't be said enough. This movie does not exist without Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai started as a small little YouTube show and then became one of the biggest shows on Netflix. You know, we got Ralph Macchio on there, but also William Zabka as Johnny Lawrence. This show just gave you so much, where we get Johnny Lawrence's story, you know, where he was villainized and then what happened to him after that. And we get some other great people from the original Karate Kid movies. Martin Krove as John Kreese, Yuji Okamoto as Chosen, Thomas Ian Griffith as Terry Silver. And then, even better, we get introduced to some phenomenal new characters. Zolo Mariduana as Miguel Diaz, Peyton List as Tori Nichols, Mary Mauser as Sam LaRusso, Jacob Bertrand as Hawk, to name a few. Those characters, top notch. And here's what I love most. The show just ended, and I would say this show knew how to end the series. They gave us conclusions to every storyline, and all of them fit. All of them made us happy that we took the journey with these characters. Phenomenal last season, phenomenal last few episodes. Wonderful show. If you've never seen Cobra Kai, check it out. But now that I've run off on that, we got Karate Kid Legends, and this is about Ben Wang as Fong. And, you know, he trains with Jackie Chan's Mr. Han in China. And then him and his mother, Ming-Na Wen, love Ming-Na Wen. You know, the original Mulan. She's in The Mandalorian. She is timeless, and she also ageless, because this lady about 60, and you would never know, still as beautiful as ever. And she's Dr. Fong, and she gets a job in New York, so they move. And, you know, little Ben, he's doing his best. He's trying to stay out of trouble. They recently lost his brother. And we got old words are hard, y'all. Sadie Stanley as Mia Lapita, and her daddy, Joshua Jackson, as Victor Lapini. is old Charlie from the Mighty Ducks trilogy. So talk about bringing back. And so he meets this girl. She's kind of cool. He meets Victor. He needs some money from loan sharks. So he's training. A good chunk of this movie is about Victor and the pizza shop and his relationship with Mia and trying to, train him to be a boxer. And while also studying with SATs with old Wyatt Oleff. Let me tell you, Wyatt Oleff's Alan, hysterical. Great side character. I didn't think he was going to be in the whole movie. He's top tier. And everything goes south. And this is what leads us to the tournament, which the tournament is a very small portion of this movie. Very small. Because there's always got to be a generic bully that's just bad because he's bad. And that's Aramis's Knight's Connor. Just, oh, I'm the best. I'm going to, I'll beat up anybody. Just a jerk kid. And then Tim Rosen as O'Shea. He's this disgusting land shark type, sending people to beat folks up for money. And so then something happens with Victor. So then it's up to Li Fong to try and win the 5 boroughs. That's the big tournament in this. And that's where we get Daniel LaRusso. And so he's training with, Mr. Han. He's training with Daniel-san. And he's trying to learn the best of both. And the fight's very quick for the first few rounds, like 5-6 seconds. Very quick. And then, of course, they spend everything on the finale, as you should. So we go from story about moving, boxing, and then the tournament. This movie, if you enjoy Karate Kid films, if you enjoy Cobra Kai, I think you'll enjoy this movie. It's very sweet. Like I said, there's not a lot of tournament action. There's not a lot of boxing. There's just good story, enjoyable story. So I'm going to give this a 3.4 out of 5 cheers. I think Karate Kid Legends is a good time. I think you should check it out. Check out Cobra Kai if you haven't seen it, because there is a credit scene involving Cobra Kai, which I thoroughly appreciated. But guys, we're trying to keep this nice and snackable, keep it short and sweet, just like me. But if you want to let us know what you think about any of these movies, or you want to let us know what movies we need to check out, I try and hit the theater for everything. Y'all know this. Already been to the theater 57 times. There's so many ways you can do it, but let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast to Film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter, @film_toast. Or check us out on beautiful YouTube. You can see my cool dad hat. You can see this green can disappear. And make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. I reach out to everyone who comments. And we just wish you a good night and good viewing.